The title of my master's project is Effects of Co-Teaching on Students with Autism. As time goes on, we are finding that there are more and more students being diagnosed with autism than ever before. Children with autism struggle with forming relationships and communicating with others. Students with autism tend to be placed in smaller classroom settings with other peers with autism. This affects their socialization as they are not being placed with typically developing peers. How are they going to improve on their socialization if they are being placed in classroom settings with other students with autism? Children with autism are now being placed in general education classrooms with 15 or more peers. In these co-teaching classrooms, there are two teachers. There's one general education teacher as well as one special education teacher. The hope is that students with autism will be taught along with their peers for social and adaptive and cognitive and academic intentions. The idea is to not pull these students out with autism of the classroom anymore for extra help. Inclusion is certainly on the rise. When looking at the standards, to benefit students with autism, we really had to look at the reading and speaking and listening standards. In first grade, students with autism will need extra help identifying words that express feelings and senses. They will have to participate in collaborative conversations with diverse peers and adults. This will help their socialization skills for their upcoming years. As students with autism move up from first to second grade, they will have to explain how words and phrases in a text suggest feelings and appeal to the sentences. Again, they need to follow rules for discussions and participate actively in conversations by taking turns, listening, and staying on topic. When looking at the third grade standards, they have to determine the meaning of words and phrases, figurative language, and academic and content-specific words. Students with autism are very literal, so working on figurative language will help them understand ideas and so forth. Will help them understand idioms and so forth. I created lessons to help students with autism with context clues to determine the meaning of words and phrases. I also created lessons to help their figurative language. They will be taught the different types of figurative language and then be able to work with figurative language by participating in games and writings. I also created lessons for third grade to help their conversation skills. Social and conversation skills are very important for students with autism. There's a lot of partner work and even an interview the students will have to participate in. This will help students with autism communicate with others effectively. In the end, the hope is to improve their conversation skills. We want to see good eye contact and a conversation that stays on topic and flows nicely. As these students move on to fourth grade, they will continue using context clues to determine the meaning of unfamiliar words. In fifth grade, they will have to determine the meaning of unfamiliar words as well as analyzing the effects of meaning, tone, or mood. By fifth grade, students with autism will have to be able to have conversations with peers and express their ideas clearly with persuasion. The effects of co-teaching on students with autism has its pros and cons. This co-teaching method is not new, but there are high hopes that students with autism being placed in general education classrooms will succeed better academically and socially.